I will now give the floor to our last speaker for this debate, Sharon Amadi, who is a youth delegate to the Congress from Italy. As I understand, Ms. Amadi, you are living in the United Kingdom while being Italian, so we are very interested to hear your views and experiences as a young person with regard to living abroad while keeping links with your home region and country. Ms. Amadi, we look forward to your contribution. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Globally, the number of people living outside their birthplace has almost tripled over the past 45 years, from 76 million to 250 million. Diaspora youth are increasing in numbers every day. Youth diasporas contribute significantly to the sustainable development of both destination and origin communities, making diverse economic, social, and cultural inputs. Diasporas send money home to fund basic goods and services while helping mitigate shocks and actually supporting recovery from crisis. They invest money to improve lives. They share the skills acquired from experiences abroad. Young diasporas are the embodiment of their heritage country's image abroad, forging ties and creating transnational spaces. This is actually showed by NGOs such as African Diaspora Youth Forum, which gives a platform to diaspora youth to express their views in high-level meetings. This has been the case in sub-Saharan Africa. Of the 420 million inhabitants of Western Europe, 4.4 million are diasporas sharing African heritage. They currently contribute to the economic and social well-being of their native land and host society. Yet, migrants in diaspora are often not fully viewed as agents and subjects of local sustainable development. And this is where a shift needs to happen. For the councils of destination regions, building trust with engaged diaspora youth involves acknowledging that their dual sense of belonging and their commitment to their homelands is compatible with total conformity with adopted society. Receiving regions can create and establish trust by accepting that diaspora's youth have expertise that may be an important input for the actual development policies of the countries of origin. It is an opportunity of connection and open conversation with the country of origin, and this has been successful with the birth of African-EU cooperation. Although we have to recognize that the role of diaspora youth continues to be largely misconstrued and misrepresented, both in relation to its core dynamics and its implication for regional economies and society. Diaspora communities experience difficulties in accessing relevant information, which in turn impedes further young diaspora engagement. The contextual conditions in the host society is a vital element in the inclusion of young migrants. Contextual conditions are formed by the socio-economic conditions of migrants in the host country, as well as the political, institutional, policymaking framework that enable individuals to actually participate in society. They provide the basis for actually using resources in the form of public funds or gainful employment. In other words, the trend of raising language problems as the main challenge of inclusion while avoiding a focus on integration conditions in the receiving regions and providing diaspora youth with real opportunities to participate in all sectors. Furthermore, the dominant discourse on youth migrants and diaspora youth's own responsibility to learn the language and to integrate is too simplistic given the complexity of integration. So even if knowing the language of the host society constitutes a powerful tool for actively communicating and interacting with members of the society, some very basic social interactions may happen without sharing a common knowledge. Young diasporas need these tools in order to fully be active in society in both the country of residence and their native land. For this reason, we may posit that the prevailing economic situation and shifts in immigrant and integration policies in the country of residence have the potential to actually create or hamper the actual political chances, structures that are needed in order for the diaspora youth to get involved. If inclusivity is what we're truly striving for, diaspora youth have a key role in forming an inclusive society. They are vital in strengthening cooperation between home and host societies. According to the Human Rights Handbook, published in 2019, one of the challenges for migrants is the lack of political participation and understanding of national procedures, and that is pertinent to the diaspora youth as well. I firmly believe this challenge emerges in the host region, who must take a stand and actually create ways to promote easily accessible information for diasporas to acquire extensive knowledge on political processes. Combating this discrimination is about embracing diversity at all levels in local politics and beyond. Since the handbook became public in 2019, we have not yet seen enough concrete changes on diaspora participation. It is imperative that diaspora civic engagement must be incorporated into institutional and policy frameworks. Maximizing economic, social, cultural, and other diasporic transfers through targeted policies and projects. Facilitating the integration of young diasporas into their respective host communities is not only achieved through promotion, entry to the labor market, partnerships, or cultural assimilation. Real integration is making room for young diaspora representatives and their NGOs as active contributors so that their views are reflected in all aspects of local policy. Diaspora youth involvement will not happen with a partial inclusion. It will not happen if they're viewed as solely spectators, and it will definitely not happen if they're not called to the table. I believe in equality and unity, values that are also shared by the Council of Europe. I believe in open dialogue, mutual understanding, and concrete actions. I believe in uplifting and boosting the potential of young diasporas. Understanding the transnational character of diaspora groups is critical. Diaspora youth are actors whose networks and activities span across other regions. The perception needs to change. They should be seen as active civil participants that can contribute to policy and practice through a combination of formal structures, informal networks, and mutual aid. My only request is this. Give diaspora youth the opportunity and the authority to implement their ideas in political processes. As an Afro-Italian, I am simply using my voice for the ones who couldn't have theirs heard. As an Afro-European, I want to see diversity and solidarity for youth engagement in decision-making processes. And as a human, I want to see more people like me have seats in rooms like this. Thank you.
Thank you very much for... Thank you for your speech and your comments. And I think it's a topic that's showed us that we will have to work on and stay engaged in this topic.